Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. If you're gearing up to learn to code in 2026, you probably think step one is dropping a fortune on a high-end laptop and cracking open some massive textbook on programming languages, right? Well, actually stop right there. Because the most shocking truth about learning to code today, it doesn't even start with a keyboard. It literally starts with a simple pen and a notebook. Seriously. Why? Because AI is already out there writing the boilerplate code for us. We're totally past the era of memorizing semicolons. Today, it's all about engineering real solutions. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with the 2026 coding paradigm. Then we'll hit foundations, logic over syntax. After that, we're looking at system design and Git, followed by math for computational thinking. Then we'll explore AI as your assistant. And finally, we'll wrap up with building 3 core projects. Let's get right into it.
First up, the 2026 coding paradigm.
So there's just a massive night and day difference between how we used to learn and how we learn now. Back in the pre-AI days, think like 2017, you'd boot up your laptop and pull your hair out trying to memorize C++ or Java syntax. Today, grabbing a pen and paper might sound totally old school, but it's actually the secret weapon of senior engineers. Since AI can instantly spit out that standard boilerplate code, your true value is your ability to just sequence events in your head. Okay, step 1 runs, then step 2, then step 3. If you just blindly trust the AI right off the bat, you're going to miss those really subtle, critical details. Mapping out the flow on paper first lets you know exactly what instructions to give the AI to avoid massive headaches later.
Moving right along to Section 2, Foundations, where we focus on logic over syntax.
This sequence right here is your golden ticket. Step 1, start with Python. Why Python? Well, because it reads almost exactly like plain English. Look, in 2026, the language itself shouldn't be a barrier. Starting with something super dense like C++ and its dreaded pointers, or Java with those strict object-oriented rules, it just adds totally unnecessary friction. It'll just make you want to quit. Python gets you up and running fast. Then step 2, basic data structures and algorithms, or DSA. Now, don't panic. You don't need to solve every single problem ever invented. Just tackle a few easy, medium, and hard ones to wire your brain for logical thinking. And step 3, you apply that logic directly to real-world projects.
The main takeaway here is really this. Syntax is just the medium. It's basically the boilerplate stuff that large language models can generate in milliseconds, assuming you explain the problem clearly. But logic, knowing exactly what variables to define, figuring out where a loop needs to go, or knowing how to cut down on expensive network calls, that's the stuff that makes you an actual engineer. All right, Section 3. Let's talk system design and Git.
Think of it this way. Writing a single function is kind of like tightening one single screw on a giant machine. An AI can tighten that screw perfectly for you. But system architecture, that's taking thousands of different pieces and actually assembling the entire machine yourself. When something breaks, and it will, you have to be the one who traces it back, figures out exactly why it failed, and optimizes the parts around it. Let's ground this with a real-world example, like a food delivery app. Sure, an AI can easily spit out a login API or a quick payment integration script for you. But think about the total cascade of events here. A user places an order. It hits your backend server. The server checks if the restaurant is even open. Then it calls the payment API, assigns a delivery partner, and manages real-time tracking using polling or WebSockets. It's a whole chain reaction. What happens if 10,000 people order a pizza at the exact same second? Does your app just completely crash? Or what if the payment fails, but your system accidentally logs it as a success and delivers the food anyway? That's a massive revenue loss. AI absolutely cannot make these high-stakes architectural decisions. That's entirely on you. And because we're heavily leveraging AI assistants now, our coding speed has shot up by roughly 10x. You can generate a staggering amount of code in practically no time. But with all that incredible speed comes a massively higher probability of accidentally pushing completely broken code into production. And that's exactly why learning version control, tools like Git and GitHub, is absolutely non-negotiable. You have to know how to create branches, commit your changes, raise pull requests, and resolve those dreaded merge conflicts. When something breaks, Git is the absolute lifeline that lets you track the bug and revert back to a working version.
Next up, Section 4. Math for computational thinking.
Now, the secret, sort of hidden tool to really fast-track your computational thinking is, believe it or not, math.
But hold on, take a deep breath. You absolutely do not need crazy advanced calculus or deep integration skills here. We are literally talking about basic 10th or 11th grade algebra. Stuff like Boolean logic, just deeply understanding how and, or, true and false all interact with each other. Math essentially trains your brain in abstraction and pattern recognition. It's basically the mental gym where your logic muscles get strong, which ultimately lets you make way faster and better engineering decisions.
All right, moving into Section 5, AI as your assistant.
The rule of thumb here is to treat AI strictly as your brilliant learning buddy and assistant, absolutely not as a crutch. If you need a complex concept broken down, there are specific prompting techniques for that. If you're looking for inline coding help, you leverage tools like Claude, Codex, or Cursor. And if you're actually testing and running models yourself, you look towards local offline setups. The absolute key here is giving exact instructions. If you just toss vague prompts at an AI, it will go completely off the rails and hand you totally useless code.
So if you ever hit a total wall and just cannot wrap your head around a concept, don't just sit there staring blankly at your screen. Leverage the Eli 10 technique. It's super simple. Just type /Eli10 followed by whatever you're stuck on into your AI assistant. It stands for Explain It to Me Like I Am a 10-year-old. The AI will instantly take that dense engineering problem and map it onto a really simple, relatable, real-world scenario, making it just instantly click for you. Plus, you can even use AI to build custom learning roadmaps for yourself or have it whip up a quick quiz to test your knowledge on a new framework.
And hey, if you want to actually get your hands dirty with the models themselves, you absolutely need to know about Hugging Face. Think of it as the GitHub for AI models. Basically, whenever a new model drops, it gets listed right there. Now, obviously, you can't really run massive trillion-parameter models on your everyday machine, but you can download smaller, super efficient models like Google's Gemma 4, for example, and run them completely offline, locally, right on a decent laptop. It is such an incredible way to just experiment and learn how AI actually functions under the hood.
Finally, let's hit Section 6, Building 3 Core Projects. At the end of the day, you can't just passively watch videos and read documentation. You actually have to build things. And here are the 3 distinct types of projects you absolutely must create to level up. First up, a personal project. Build something that solves a random daily annoyance in your own life. It keeps you super invested. Second, a market-ready project. This is your heavy-hitting resume builder. Think complex stuff, like building a multiplayer game or maybe a mini compiler. By the way, the best place to build these is totally at hackathons. And third, the impossible project. Pick a concept so incredibly obscure and ridiculously difficult that there are literally 0 video tutorials on it anywhere. You'll be forced to dig into the raw documentation, maybe fine-tuning a super niche AI model. This is where the truly immense growth happens.
And then, the absolute ultimate test of your new skills, contributing to open source projects. This is real-world coding in its absolute purest form. You're going to be navigating giant, complex code bases, working side by side with veteran engineers, and really learning how a professional pipeline truly operates. Getting involved in programs like LFX or Google Summer of Code can act as massive launchpads, totally opening doors to some incredible career opportunities. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought. The old era of just mindlessly typing out boilerplate syntax, it's over. AI has freed us from all that mundane busy work so we can finally focus on the magnificent stuff. The only real question left is, what impossible project will you choose to architect first? Thanks for hanging out with me as we broke down this massive shift in how we learn to code. Now dive in, grab that pen and paper, and start engineering the future.